This is John at Algo Futures Trader. I just wanted to record live examples here. We're just about a minute or so away from the market open, and you can see I've got the micro ES, the Russell, the YM on the bottom left, and the mini NQ. And I'm just going to turn on the automatic trading. You see I'm selecting automatic trading on. That way the software is going to do all the heavy lifting. All right, so it's going to determine when the breakout is made and make sure all the conditions are met for the breakout. If you want, you can check some of the higher time frames. If you check the 15-minute chart, what does the trend look like? Looks like we're kind of going sideways on the 15-minute. That's the micro ES. We can take a look at daily chart. So however you want to determine the trend. If you want to get an idea, if you just want to take long trades, or if you want to take short trades. So here's the daily chart. Obviously, we're in an uptrend on the daily chart here. I had some pullback. Market was starting to move higher. Could potentially get a little double top in, depending on how things go today. So something to be aware of. All right, so market's getting ready to open, and I've got automatic trading on. So the software is going to determine if that particular market breaks out. If we only want to take long trades, then we would turn off the short trade button here, and that would tell the software only take long trades. Okay, I'm not going to do that, right? I'll let this thing trade either way, whichever way it does break out. All right, so you see market is open. Our M2K here starting to print. We have our no trade zone. That's that light blue area, that shaded area that's starting to form here. All right, so number one, we've got to break out of that area. Right, and we also have to check our traffic filter here at the bottom. That has to be all green if we're going to take long trades. It's got to be all red if we're going to take a short trade, or at least that's going to let the software, it will prevent any trading to the long side, any signals being executed to the long side, unless that traffic filter is completely green. And it will prevent the system from taking any short trades unless that traffic light filter is completely red. All right, you see the mini NQ. That's also starting to form its opening range here. All right, your micro ES and your micro Dow just kind of getting going here. So you see the NQ starting to push the top of its no trade zone there. But if we look at the trend filter or the traffic light filter, right, we're not all green yet. All right, so nothing generated yet there. So we just sit and wait, let the software do the heavy lifting here. But of course, we're going to manage. Okay, we're going to manage and oversee everything. We're not just going to, turn it on and walk away. If you have to do that, at some point, all right, again, the software is going to handle the execution. It's going to handle the initial stop, the trailing stop. All right, it'll take care of all of that. But we do have discretion, because you can trade this, fully automatic. You can trade it semi-automatic, which is what I like to do, and you can trade it completely discretionary if you want. All right, so again, you see the YM starting to print its no trade zone here, that shaded blue area. So we need to see a breakout. All right, so I made some progress. We made some progress here on the NQ to the downside now. So starting to push on the opposite end. All right, and we've got a signal. All right, so we are going to be short the micro NQ. You see the traffic light filter agrees. with the signal. You see the entry, right, and the initial stop back on the other side of the zone. Looks like our Russell is executed a long trade. You see the traffic light filter was completely green, broke out to the upside. All right, so this is interesting because we've got the M2K long and you've got the Nasdaq short. Right, and you might think, well, that's not a good thing, but I've seen many times where, you know, the S&P will trigger long, the Nasdaq will trigger short, and both are profitable. So don't second guess too much. But we'll see how this plays out. Right now, we're just kind of sitting at the breakout area here. So we'll just watch these, and we'll come back and see if we start making some progress in these trades and get anything in the micro ES and the micro Dow here. All right, guys, so you see our M2K here. Notice that the stop has moved up, right? And our target is pretty close to being hit right now on 2 contracts. So we're long 3 micro lots, and if we can get that target, it'll take 2 off. Now notice the stop is moved again. This is automatic. All right, the software did this, so we cannot lose on the 2. All right, we just hit the target, our first target, on 2 contracts. So we hit the full target, but what the stop did there, it moved to a profitable position. So even if the M2K had pulled back from where it was and it didn't hit our initial target, we would have still, and it pulled back, we would have taken profit on the 2, just not the full target. All right, now you see the final stop on the 1 lot is moving up as price moves in our favor here. Eventually we want to get that to at least a break even, so we're basically guaranteed a profitable trade in the M2K here. You see our NQ is short, hasn't really gone much of anywhere yet. You see there's some fib support there, that red line that it touched and bounced. So we've got to obviously break that to get to that first target. But we're in good shape on M2K. Almost break even on the last contract. That's we'll see if it runs. If not, like I said, we took profit on 2, and we'll break even on the last. S&P, YM, nothing happening yet. All right, so we'll come back in a bit and see what's going on. All right, guys. So you see the S&P broke the bottom of that no trade zone. So it's attempting a breakout here to the downside. Your traffic light filter is completely red. Right, so it gave the light to take the short trade here. So there's the entry, the stop, the protective stop, and then the initial target to take 2 off. Right, it looks like your YM is starting to break down a little bit. Don't have agreement with the traffic filter yet. Our M2K, again, that was long, and your stop is at break even now. So we took 2 contracts off in profit at the first target, and your stop on the last is at break even. So can't lose on that trade. We're gonna walk away a winner. All right, after this trade in the M2K, since it is a profitable trade, I would turn the automatic trading to the off position so that it does not trade anymore. It's done for the day. All right, you can, if you decide you want to, if it breaks down and breaks to the downside, let's say, you know, the S&P is now short. If the Dow goes short, the NQ is already short, or the MNQ. If the Russell does come back, stops out on the long, and then breaks to the downside and breaks out to the downside, you can take that trade, right? You just have whatever rules that you're going to have in place. I like to, if that trade is profitable, the first trade, then I shut it down. The other thing will be time of day. right? I typically don't want to be taking any new trades, probably beyond 11 o'clock Eastern. That's why they call it the morning, right? Opening trade breakout. Trying to get something breaking out early. Hopefully, like it did, what was it, Friday, and was it Thursday or Friday? We had like the NQ. I think I posted that. The NQ broke out to the upside off the open and just ran the whole day to the upside, which is great. That's what you want. Doesn't happen every day. More days than not, it's like this. We were kind of, some triggering the long side, some to the short side, some can't make up their mind, All right, so we'll wait and see how these play out. We're short the MES, we're long the M2K, short the MNQ, and waiting on the Dow. All right, now you see the Dow has broken out to the downside. The traffic light filter turned all red, and we were outside of the no trade zone. All right, so now you've got 3 of the 4 markets are short, and your M2K is still long, and that's still in play to the long side. But you've got 3 out of the 4 are short, so we'll see if this gets some follow through here. And our goal now is to get to the first target in the NQ, the Dow, and the ES. Get to that first target, get those first 2 contracts off, and just be trailing with that last contract. And then we'll be in good shape. Now notice the Dow. You see that red line just above our first target? You've got some fib support there. All right, so expect, if you see that, here's one of the things that you can do as far as manually controlling. You may decide to move your target up, just to that red line or just inside that red line, anticipating that price is going to hit that red line and bounce, and that maybe you want to take your 2 contracts off there on that first rundown. All right, now you see your NQ. All right, it's starting to push down. Notice your stop on the 2 contracts has basically come down to break even. So if price doesn't come down and get you out at the first target and comes back up, you're either going to break even on those 2, or it may, if NQ moves a little bit further down, it'll move the stop down again, where you're going to definitely lock in profit on at least those 2 contracts. So things are coming down. Your M2K is pulling back here. Right. In fact, the M2K, that just stopped out. So the last contract stopped at break even. So that was a profitable trade. 2 contracts off at the first target. The last contract at break even. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that the M2K. I'm going to shut that down because we don't want that taking any more trades. At least I don't. The NQ, MNQ, getting close to the target. Right. Notice that the stop has come down now on the 2 contracts, so that if it doesn't hit the target here, well, it did hit the target, but if it didn't and it pulled back, you'd still take profit on 2. So I love what Tom has done with the trade management. Okay. Dow still struggling with that fib support there. Remember I said that might be an issue. And your MES getting close to its target. So that's our goal, is if we can get down to 1 contract and just have the software manage it from there. Yeah, I got to go ahead and turn this M2K off here, shutting that off so it doesn't take any short trades here, because it looks like it's might be setting up to take a short trade. But All right, so we'll come back and see if we can get the last targets here on the MES and the MYM. And then we'll be down to just one contract on each and trail. All right, we've got the MES getting close to the target, but either way, you see how the stop has basically split the difference between the entry and the first target. So if it pulls back here and doesn't hit the initial target, we're still going to get out with 2 contracts at profit. So basically can't lose on those 2 initial contracts. YM still struggling with that support there. NQ has continued to work its way down. Notice that the M2K did go short, ended up going short. We'll see how that plays out. So basically everything is short now. We're not in the M2K because I shut that one off. It already had a profit to the long side, so I shut that one down. All right, so you see that we're left with just 1 contract now on the MES. We've got profit on 2, but it didn't hit the full target. All right, we basically it trailed with the trailing stop, and that took us out on those 2 contracts at profit. Just not as big a profit as if we had hit the target. But that's okay. We got profit there. We're down to 1 contract. That's what we want. And we're still waiting on the YM to get some fall through. All right, so we'll keep waiting. All right, so I'm just shutting off the MNQ here because you see the basically I just don't want it to take any more trades. It's already in a trade short. It's getting to the point or time of day where I don't really want it to be taking any new trades. So either these are going to play out or they're not. We're down to 1 contract on your MES, MNQ, and just looking to see if we can get down that YM, get down to its target, at least get down to 1 contract as well, and just see if this thing will pick up any speed and run to the downside. If not, we'll still be in good shape if we can get these last Dow contracts off here. All right, let's see if the Dow can just come down a few ticks, get those 2 contracts off at the full target, and then we'll be left just trailing 1 in the MYM and 1 in the MES and 1 in the MNQ, all to the short side. All right, so the stop has moved down. So we're guaranteed a profit on 2 contracts in the YM here. We're either going to get the full target or it's going to pull back and take us out on the stop, as you can see there. Let's just see if you can tick down a couple more and get us out at the full target. Would be nice. There we go. All right, so we're left with 1. We got the full profit target on the MYM. We're left with 1 contract. So now we're just trailing, all right? Or we're short ES, YM, NQ, each with 1 contract. Let's just see if this thing follows through, and see if we can make a little more progress to the downside. And it may take all day the way the market's been moving today. It may be if we don't get stopped out on the last contract, we'll just be closing the positions out at the end of the day manually. Okay, so you see now the NQ, its protective stop or its trailing stop now on that last contract is in profit. So no matter what happens in the NQ, we're going to guaranteed profit on that 3rd contract. Guaranteed profit on that trade. Dow's got to come down some more. The stop has moved down, but it's not to break even or in profit yet. The S&P is basically just about break even, maybe a little below the entry there on its final stop. So we're guaranteed small profit, at least at this point, on the last contract on the MES. All right, so in good shape. We just need to get that Dow to come down a bit more. All right, you see the NQ, we just got stopped out on that last contract. Basically about break even. Actually, just a little beyond that. So we're out there, but that was a profitable trade. Again, trailing in the NQ. It looks like if you took the M2K short, that would have worked out as well. It's starting to make a little bit of progress to the downside. Your S&P may get stopped out on this last contract here, but again, that'll be at a small profit. So that's guaranteed to be a profitable trade as well. So we'll see how these finish out here. All right, guys, so we're near the end of the trading session here. And you see that we made a little more progress on the ES. Okay, on that one contract, the stop came down. So we'd book a little more profit, but we'll get ready to go ahead and close this out. And I can just manually do that, clicking close all. All right, and that's out. Not going to carry anything overnight. I mean, can if you wish, if you got your protective stops in. Again, M2K, we got long off the opening break, took 2 contracts off in profit at the first target. The second contract stopped basically at break even there, and then shut that off and did not take the short trade, which would have been a pretty good trade to the short side. But anyway, that was profitable. Our MYM here, that one, we got 2 contracts off at the first target, and then we stopped on the second contract. Lost about 27 bucks on the on that last contract. All right, but still overall profitable trade there. And once that happened, then I shut off the automatic trading, and that was done for the day. And then our MNQ here, again, the protective trailing stop is in profit, but since we're at the end of the day here, I'm just going to close this one out, and that'll be at a profit on all 3 contracts. So that basically broke at the open, took 2 contracts off at the first target, trailed on the remaining one, just didn't really get much follow through. Just one of those kind of days, but still, we'll take it. Close that one out, and done. All right, so that's kind of a typical, you're going to get more of these kind of days than like we had on, was it Thursday or Friday, where like the Nasdaq just shot out like a rocket to the upside and never looked back the whole day. So just taking a look at the performance here. Right, not too shabby. Using micro contracts, that's that small loss we took on the Dow on that last contract there. All right, so that's how it's done. Again, check the description below, and you can get the information how to download the Algo Futures Trader for Ninja 7. You do have the ability to download the Ninja 8 add-ons as well. That's in beta right now. All right, so that information will be below, and all the help tutorial information as well. All right, hope that's helpful. You guys have a great day.